Hi guys, Mark here with Wolters World, and we're in Coba in the Yucatan Peninsula in Mexico, kind of by Cancun at these Mayan ruins. Really fantastic tusked structure in the Yucatan Peninsula. Beautiful place, and I'm going around Mexico right now, and I used to live in Brazil, and I lived in Argentina, backpack all throughout South America and Latin America, and I really love it. But even though I really love it, I know there's things you're going to love and hate about places. What I thought I'd give you guys is 5 things you're going to love and hate about traveling throughout Latin America. Now, what you need to realize is Latin America really is from North Mexico, all the Sonora Desert in North Mexico, all the way down to Tierra del Fuego in Chile and Argentina at the very bottom of South America. And it's a fantastic place to go, but there are some things you got to look out for. So I'm going to start with the 5 things you're going to hate about going there. Remember, these are just over generalities for the area, but it gives you a rough idea of what you should be looking out for, okay? Now, the first thing you got to worry about is your safety. Now, when I say safety, yes, your physical safety, your physiological safety, your tummy safety, your financial safety, all these kind of things. And what you need to realize is some places in Latin America aren't safe. Okay, you shouldn't be dressing up super nice if you're going to be going around Brazil or in Panama, because it makes yourself a target. We have lots of videos telling people how not to be a target when they travel, because in Latin America, if they see you as a tourist, you do have a better chance of something bad happening. Because I have friends in Panama and Colombia, and they're worried that people are going to kidnap them and hold them for ransom. These things do happen. Now, it doesn't happen all the time, but there are bus robberies, there are hotel break-ins, so just be smart and do your research beforehand, because that can take care of a lot of those kind of physical safety issues. So if I look at your body, though, make sure you bring your sunblock and your bug sprays from the US or Europe, wherever you're coming from, because they're a lot more expensive here, and I find they don't work quite as well. So make sure you're bringing that from home so you have it to keep yourself okay. Also, with the water here, pretty much nowhere in South America and Latin America can you drink the water. Okay, so make sure you're using bottled water. You're bringing your pills to purify the water if you're hiking, like the Inca Trail in Peru and these kind of things. All right. Now, the second thing you're not going to like about traveling in Latin America is the distance between cities and the kind of inner-city transportation. You're going to be using buses. Yes, there are some planes in certain places if you're going. Well, those can be a bit pricey, but the buses, they can be very nice or they can be very bad. Make sure you do your research and look and see, because you might see a bus from Buenos Aires to Puerto Madryn, which is like 20 hours. One is, $50 and one is $20. You're like, oh, well, I'll take the $20 one, and you're literally sitting on a board for 18 hours. I've had both sides of that, so make sure you check those things out, because the roads do get bumpy, and if you're driving around, you're paying off cops, you got topes, the speed bumps like crazy, all kinds of stuff. So just getting between the cities is tough, but also the distance between the cities you want to go visit usually is rather large. So it's not like in Europe where, oh, 1 hour I'm going from Hamburg to Hanover, another hour I'm in Berlin. No, here it's 18 hours to Puerto Madryn, or 12 hours going to, and I guess it was 8 hours, like Ouro Preto from Sao Paulo and these kind of things. So you'll see there's a big difference, and so if you're planning, you need to take that into account, okay? The third thing you're not going to like about coming to Latin America is the language barrier. Guys, unless you're like in Cancun, okay, or one of these big tourist meccas, you're not going to find a lot of people that speak English. Okay, so you really need to learn some Spanish or Portuguese if you're going to Brazil, and that'll really help you get around. It'll help you when you're buying your bus tickets. It'll help you get the right food, buy the medicines you need, make friends and stuff like that. And that's the thing, is if you can speak some of the language, the people here, and I'll talk about that's my first love, they'll help you out with things, and you get to know the culture better. So make sure you learn a little Portuguese or Spanish before you come. I have plenty of videos on here to help you out with that, okay? But that language barrier will get kind of tough when you're trying to negotiate something or tell somebody you need a doctor and they don't speak English, so that can be an issue, okay? The fourth thing you're not going to like is the lack of tourist infrastructure. Now, here in Cancun, yes, there's great tourist infrastructure with tours and buses and guides and all these things, but a lot of times when you're going through Latin America, you really are on your own, so you really need to invest in some good guidebooks and have your stuff planned out beforehand, so you know where you're going to go, where you're going to stay, because a lot of the guidebooks aren't as helpful as you'd want them to be. It's not like a European guidebook that has these things, these hotels and hostels that have been there for 30, 50, 500 years. Here, there's a lot more transition for it, and so that infrastructure isn't there to keep people up to date. So make sure you do your research. Make sure you're finding your hotels beforehand, because sometimes you literally are staying in someone's house on a floor. And I remember I stayed in one place, it was 50 cents a night. Hey, that was great, but it was like I was sharing a room with a bunch of people, and I got to hear some very interesting sounds from some of the other couples in there. Anyway, so just know the lack of tourist infrastructure can make stuff tougher for you. So again, it goes back to that, do your preparation. And the fifth thing you're not going to like is, guys, I know we love the weather in Latin America, but also you have to watch out for it, because the sun is extremely powerful here, and you will get burned, and you will have, you know, I mean, I've seen some really bad burns here, but also, if you're looking to come here, make sure you check out what season it is. Is it the rainy season, or is it the dry season? Because if you're going to Buenos Aires, Argentina in December, well, they have so much rain that actually the metros flood. Okay, you want to hit the beach in Brazil in January? It's hit and miss because that's the rainy season there as well. Peru, Machu Picchu, hiking Inca Trail, oh, that's closed for a month, okay, because of the seasons kind of stuff. So the really torrential rains that can come in here, and the oppressing sun and the humidity, I mean, I'm drenched with sweat. Yes, I'm a big guy, but these kind of things you need to be prepared for. So keep yourself hydrated, do your research and those things like that. But these are little things. I mean, guys, I love traveling in Latin America, and you really should go, but I just want to give you the heads up on those 5 things. What are the 5 things you're going to love about coming to Latin America? Because it is so awesome to come here. So what's the first thing you're going to love about coming to Latin America? The people. Guys, I've traveled in Asia, I've traveled in Europe, Africa, throughout the US and Canada, and I gotta tell you, in general groups of the world, Latin Americans are the most fun, the most friendly, and the most go out of their way to make sure you feel at home and a great guest anywhere in the world. And the people, I mean, guys, they're fantastic. They're helpful, they're kind, they're wonderful. And if you get a chance, that's one of those things why I say learn some Spanish or learn some Portuguese before you come, because it can make all this difference. You get to learn their culture, because people are so proud of their culture, they share it with you. So I guess you say number 1 is the people and their culture, and you get to share those things with them because they want to. And of course, they are such a fun time. And guys, you ever be bored? Go to a Brazilian party, you will have a great time. Go to a Mexican party, you'll have a great time. You know, you don't say that too much about, oh, I'm going to go to an Austrian party. Not quite the same. Okay, so that's the first thing you're going to love, are the people. They are fantastic. The second thing you're going to love about coming to Latin America is the natural wonders. Okay, whether you're going to Iguacu Falls on the border of Paraguay, Argentina, and Brazil, or Angel Falls in Venezuela, or you're seeing the Sonora Desert in Mexico, or the beaches everywhere, except in Paraguay. The beaches are fantastic throughout Latin America. There's so many natural beauty things to see there, and the different colors that come from all those things. Taking in the sunset in Chile or the sunrise in Mexico. I mean, God, all this natural beauty that Latin America offers you that you don't see in the US, because we're paved over with cement, or in Europe, or in Asia. Well, Asia you have some, but you don't see it that way. And here you can really be a part of nature, and you see, you know, you have all these ruins here in the nature and all kinds of stuff. But it is fantastic. So make sure you do some kind of nature tourism when you're here. You know, I mean, I like to go to Pantanal in Brazil. It's the swamplands, and you can go swimming with alligators and stuff like that. Or you can go to the tropical rainforest of the Amazon. Or, you know, zip lining in Costa Rica. There's so much natural beauty. You're going to love that. So get those things in. The third thing you're going to love about coming to Latin America is it's not overrun with tourists. I know there's some here, but you don't get as many tourists as you do in Asia. Or, you know, in China, you're overrun with people, and you're hitting St. Mark's Square in Piazza San Marco in Venice, you're always overrun with people. In Latin America, a lot of times, you'll be one of the few tourists in these towns, especially if you get out of the Rios and you go to some of the smaller places like Ouro Preto or Tiradentes or whatever. You really become like one of the few people there, and then the locals come and talk to you and help you out and all kinds of stuff. But it's nice, because this is one of the few times I can put my video up at one of the major sites in the city. I don't have 50,000 people walking in front of or behind me, and it's just one of those great things about Latin America. There's not a lot of people here, so you're going to see things that not many other people do, and so it makes you feel more special, and you get to just be relaxed, and you can, you know, see your own stuff and not be overrun with tourists. The fourth thing you're going to love about coming to Latin America are the historic cities. Now, these can be, you know, the Spanish conquest cities. You know, go to Colonia in Uruguay, which is really cool, or Aguascalientes in Mexico, or Cusco in Peru. You know, they have all these, you know, the Spanish-dominated towns and things like that, the colonial periods, which are beautiful to see. The cathedrals in Mexico City, and, you know, all over the place. You know, the architecture in Buenos Aires. There's so much, you know, there's so many fantastic colonial buildings and new buildings to see, but also ancient ruins. Like here in the Yucatan, you have the Mayans. You know, Chichen Itza is one of the 7 wonders of the world. You can go up and see that. Going to see the Aztecs, going to Machu Picchu in Peru. Dude, I hiked the Inca Trail. It is so cool. And you see all these ancient ruins for these cultures, the Aztecs, the Mayans, the Incas, and you really get a really appreciation of the pre-Columbian time in the Americas. And it is one of these really fantastic things. That's why I'm here in Coba, because I want to see more of the Mayan history, you know, and you get that when you come to Latin America, which is extremely rare in other parts of the world, but it's fantastic here. Oh, and of course, you've got Rio with the Cristo up there. You got to go see him, but the natural beauty of the beaches of Rio is just fantastic. Oh my God, love Rio. And the fifth thing you're going to love about coming to Latin America is just the whole laid-back, chilled out, mañana kind of attitude. Because when you stay here a couple weeks or a couple months backpacking through, you get that feeling too, and you kind of, instead of being go, 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 you sit back, relax, have a caipirinha on the beach or a tecate on the beach, or you know, drinking some corn beer in Peru, just relaxing, and you get to really relax when you come to Latin America. You get to lay back and chill, and that's one of the things I really like about coming down here, because it's not go, go, go. I get to sit back, relax, and if you're coming for an all-inclusive, you know, that's fine. You can relax with that too, get some nice cool sights in, but the big thing is, it's the most relaxing place you can go in the world without people harassing you all the time and tourists all over top of you. You can just sit back, chill, and relax, and just enjoy Latin America. So those are the 5 things that I love and hate about visiting Latin America. I know it's very general because it's a huge geographic area with tons of different countries and cultures, but it gives you a rough idea if you're thinking of heading down, doing the, the entire way down, or just backpacking the southern cone of Argentina and Chile and stuff. But if you want to learn more about visiting here in Mexico, or if you do want to go to Europe, which is fine, or the US, we have China, we have all kinds of videos at our website at woltersworld.com. Well, I'm going to go hike up this thing and try not to have a heart attack. You guys have a great day and have a great trip in Latin America, because it is fantastic. Oh, my favorites: Rio, Buenos Aires, Cusco, Ouro, Preto. I like Cancun, actually. I can't lie to you. I like sitting on the beach doing nothing. Costa Rica. I mean, there's so many great places to see here. Santiago, Chile. Anyway, go enjoy, have fun, and I'll see you later. And adios from Coba, Mexico. Bye.